Hello. This is your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for everyone. No. It is for all zodiac signs. If you're looking for zodiac sign specific messages, that's on my premier channel, Born Without Boundaries Tarot. Go check it out. I just uploaded Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Every single week, all 12 zodiac signs will be represented. So check that out if you're looking for more specific. This is a general reading hi, Catherine, for everybody who is drawn to it, right? Who is pulled to it. Yeah. So it is for anyone, but it's not for everyone. And this is not a question and answer session, just so that everybody knows. I know I'm very happy to welcome so many new subscribers, but this is certainly not the live chat, ask me a question and I'll read tarot cards for you type of thing. This is a general tarot card reading. If you're looking for that kind of chat, that live chat interaction, then check out Born Without Boundaries Tarot memberships, because I go live multiple times a week for my members so that they can do just that. They can ask me their tarot card questions and I'll read cards for them. So check that out. For right here, we're working on a general tarot card reading, and I'll use oracle cards. And let's check out where the moon is. This is Wednesday. How is that? This is Wednesday. The moon entered Virgo. So yeah, the moon is in Virgo, and we're prepping for that full moon that's coming to us on Friday. Purim begins at sundown. Let's look what that means. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to Google it. Purim, maybe Purim. Purim is a Jewish holiday which commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from Haman, an official of the Achaemenid Empire, who was planning to have all of Persia's Jewish subjects killed, as recounted in the book of Esther. Wow. I wonder when that was set to happen, because that's interesting. Haman was the royal vizier to Persian king Ahasuerus. So it commemorates the saving of the Jewish people. Damn. And that's what it is. So happy Purim to everybody who celebrates. The color of the day is topaz. Okay, so the moon is in Virgo. That could do a lot of different things to us depending on where it is in your natal chart. I actually had a really good question. Hey, Shah, what's up, guys? It's good to have you on. I actually had a really good question that Shah actually asked me she DM'd me this, and I think it's really pertinent to discuss it. I should probably it's the general reading that I can do for the cards is energy readings. It's pulling on energy, right? It's not necessarily confined by astrology. It's able to culminate all the energy and create a story and insights I can share with you. The astrology, however, is bound by its own set of laws and rules. And so when I read any kind of this is the problem with horoscopes, is what I wanted to talk to you about. The problem with horoscopes is it's based on the rising sign position. And yet so many people read it for their sun signs. It's sun sign horoscope, but it's impossible to understand the energy for one sun sign, because the sun, even in the same zodiac, is in so many different houses, so many different degrees of that zodiac. So any kind of horoscope readings are actually kind of garbage, to be honest with you. And they're closer to your rising sign than anything else. The general readings that I do before all of my zodiac sign specific readings are energy readings. So I'm pulling from where the primary energy that's impacting that zodiac sign is. What does that mean? Well, let's take Scorpio, for example, right? I am looking at the rising sign position. If I talk about what house it's in, those are the traditional houses of Scorpio. But I'm also looking at the other things that impact Scorpio, like where is Pluto? How is Pluto being acted upon right now? Where is Mars? How is Mars being acted upon right now? And what planets are currently, if any, in the eighth house, where the eighth house is positioned now? All of those things are going to impact how Scorpio is feeling and how Scorpio wants to behave. Scorpio energy, wherever Scorpio is in your chart, then you will, especially if you have it in a lot of placements, you will feel those vibrations really intensely, because it's always going to impact Scorpio. Now, of course, everything is impacting Scorpios and everybody else, but there's certain places where it resonates the most. And it's what feelings it gives you. It's what impulses it gives you. It's what you instinctively feel pushed toward doing. So that's sort of the general overview based on the astrology that I do before every zodiac tarot card reading. And then I go into the cards, which pull on energy in a more in a more almost data analysis kind of way, like ask the questions and we will give you the answers type of energy, as opposed to look at the rules and look at the boundaries and base your answers based on what's been predetermined. So really, I feel like energy readings are more powerful because they pack a more powerful punch, because they're using all the tools to tell you about what energies are pushing on you in this moment, right? Whether or not you want to understand why is up to you, but it's definitely what I hand to you in all of the energy readings. So I hope that explains a little bit different. And I thought that was a really great question, Shah. What's up, Michelle? Hey. Oh, you're welcome. I know. And you know what? I have been feeling the same way about my rising sign. I've noticed that, and I was becoming really shocked actually at how much I've been relating to my rising sign so much more than my sun sign. It's not that the sun sign is unimportant. I think that the sun sign is very important. Wherever your sun is, whatever zodiac sign your sun is in, those qualities, aspects, characteristics, those interests will always be extremely important to you. You will find that they impact where you'll find that they impact every aspect of your life, because your sun is the self, the sense of self. So absolutely, you will find the sun sign energy will always impact you. But how it's playing out and what's happening and what's going on in your life, all of those things, you need more energy to pick up on than the sun sign. The rising sign just gives you a more consistent mark of delineation, right? Because the sun could land in any house at all. The rising sign is always right there on the horizon where the sun was coming up. So it's legitimately your starting point right where you entered the world. Hey guys. Someone mentioned to me, don't show your natal chart to anyone that's not a professional. Oh, okay, that's really interesting. Yes, I better understand. Same personally, I was like, hold on, my rising sign. It is fascinating. And sun sign astrology really just started maybe about 100 years ago. It's very modern. And I think it happened right at sort of the turn of the century, where we became industrialized and very self-centered, right? So it's like everything came from the self and it kind of left the community behind. We changed our sort of philosophy in terms of how we build our communities. But sun sign astrology was never really the primary. It was always important, but it was never the primary. That happened about 100 years ago. Hi, Frankie. So what did you say, Michelle? Someone mentioned to me, don't show your natal chart to anyone that's not a professional. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I disagree with that on the level of maybe you guys are curious. And if you're, especially if you have a book in hand and you're both curious about what things mean, you can share it with a friend. You could share it with somebody that you love. I mean, wouldn't imagine that you're sharing it with somebody who's random anyway. It's not generally something you say, hey, a stranger, would you like to see my natal chart? You definitely shouldn't share it with somebody you don't trust. But once again, I don't see that conversation even happening in a casual way. Like, like I don't see that conversation happening in a casual way. Like, you want to see my natal chart? I don't see that. I generally is somebody that you trust and you may want to explore things with and ask them questions. It's always good to review it with a professional because a professional has the most experience, and they won't make mistakes the way that you would maybe when you're still learning. But a lot of times when you're learning, it's your friends' charts that you're analyzing. You ask for like volunteer charts, right? I've had somebody ask me just anonymously, would I volunteer my chart just to like be used as an example. A lot of times we don't ask, but we use celebrities' charts as an example, right? I don't love doing that, because I feel like you should ask permission to look at somebody's chart. I think that you should be close enough to a person to look at their chart, to ask them if they'll allow you to look at your chart, because it is personal. But I don't think the person has to be professional. It's just that kind of consent should be given. That's what I always feel. Now celebrities, we take liberties with, and in some ways I don't agree with that. I don't even like myself when I check out a celebrity's chart, and I'm usually just doing it out of curiosity to see, like, I saw a behavior in them and I'm like, oh, I bet you their moon is in this, and I wanted to see if I was right, but ultimately I don't love looking at people's charts who haven't offered me or invited me or welcomed me to look at it. So I would say, Michelle, no, it's not based on professional. It's just based on consent, because your natal chart is like sharing your fingerprint with somebody. And would you want to share your fingerprint with just anybody? I don't know. Would you want to share your social security number with just anybody? Would you want to like, there's some shit that you just wouldn't want to share with just anybody. And so there should always be consent involved. So that's what I would say. I would not say professional, but I would say consent, with consent, because it's you. It's a map of you, and it's very personal. And so I would say consent is the key there. That, from me, in my opinion. I mean, you can decide to just basically share it with a professional. That's really up to you if that's who you feel comfortable with. Like I said, this is your prerogative. This is your, I don't know if there's any left in here. This is your chart. So you have a right to decide, oh, I'm not showing it to anybody who is not a professional. And that's your prerogative. You have a right to do that. But for me and my personal comfort level, it's consent. Consent is the key. And you make your own boundaries about what's comfortable for you. I basically, Frankie, I do Western. Vedic is Vedic is a little bit different. It's different because it doesn't hold on. I don't want to say this wrong. I don't want to say it wrong, so I don't want to say it wrong, because I'm trying to remember the difference and it's not clear to me in my head. So I do Western though. What is this? And yes, there is an answer. Hold on, guys. I'm going to see this. Okay, so this is what, okay, I knew I had this written down. Because I'm learning more about the history and what makes and what defines the kind of astrology that I do, which is Western astrology. And remember, Western astrology is very focused on the self, right? On independence, on it's focused on being not selfish, but self-possessed, being free. It's more focused on free will than it is on fate. And it's not that it doesn't recognize fate, but it emphasizes free will and our participation in our own fate. And Western astrology always starts at the spring equinox. It always begins, we measure everything in relation to 0 degrees Aries. Always. And that is why, because Vedic doesn't do that. And I'm not really sure what Vedic measures it on, but it doesn't measure always from 0 degrees Aries. It measures from an older system. And so there are specific degrees that are a little bit off, and we differ in that understanding. And so yeah, there can be differences in where the planets fall or how we're interpreting the charts that we see. And yeah, you could say that that is also a difference of sort of philosophical or at least esoteric perspectives or mindsets. Absolutely. I don't think they clash as much as sometimes they do challenge each other, which can be very good. And that's where I will leave that, though I would like to go a little bit deeper into the differences between the two. Hope that helps. No, Ryan, I would not go that far at all. like for example, how would a reader even know how to contact the other person? That you can't. In fact, people have done that with me, and I immediately bounce them back and say, I don't feel comfortable reading for somebody who hasn't asked me to read for them. But how would I know how to email them? How would I know how to? I don't have their phone number. So you could grab somebody's chart and share it with a reader, and there's no way that reader that I could ever figure out, should I tell this person that this other person's trying to? No, I don't. First of all, I don't get in that pettiness at all. I just set my boundaries and say, no, I'll read your chart. I'm focusing on your chart. I'm not going to focus on all these other people's charts. Right now, when you do synastry charts and you're looking for the connection between you and your spouse, there should be natural consent there. And I think a reader has every right to assume there is natural consent there. And if there isn't, a reader can pick up on that in the reading. A reader can pick up on something's not right here and I'm being deceived, right? Maybe this person isn't really their spouse. Maybe this is a person that they're really just, pining for, and they want to see, how will we work out together? And the truth is, when you go that far to make a connection with somebody that you haven't even spoken to, there should be real red flags on your behavior for yourself. It's like, what are you doing looking into synastry charts for somebody that you don't even feel comfortable enough talking to about your feelings for them? And yeah, I do get red flags on that, and I don't participate in that kind of behavior at all. But that's just like saying, I put up my 12 zodiac sign readings every day. I do not like cross watching. I think it's a little bit sneaky, but am I responsible for people doing it? How am I going to stop? I can't say, hey, only Scorpio, prove to me you're a Scorpio to watch this video. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I make them public. I make them general, and people have, people's behavior tells you more about them than it does about what they're watching or the tools that they're using. So that's just an expression of the person. Like I said, I don't like it and I don't get involved in it. And when people send me multiple charts, I ignore the charts and I just look at the person's charts. I will not read into another person's chart unless my one rule is their child. because you do have authority over your children. And if you're concerned about your child somehow, I will definitely be happy to help you out with how to interpret their chart. But that's my one. Everybody else is kind of like, did he give me permission to look at his chart? Does he even know that you're looking at that? Like, and mostly, why are you talking to me when you're not even talking to them? So I call people out on that shit all the time. But no, it can't be the reader's responsibility to call somebody or email somebody and say, hey, did you know this person was doing this? No, because now you're just bringing the reader into your pettiness. And I don't get involved in people's pettiness. I just delete shit. Delete. If I understand correctly, Vedic focuses on fixed stars, not the sun. Why the dates differ, I don't know. I'll tell you why. That's a good one, Cole, and thank you for that. Because no stars are actually fixed. They seem fixed to us, but about every, I don't know, I think it's around 100 years, and maybe like between 70 and 100 years, the stars and their position in our galaxy change, because our galaxy is actually moving, right? Our galaxy's not actually staying in one place. They look fixed. And yes, you're right. Vedic uses them as if they were fixed. It doesn't like, because all of this stuff, like being able to track the movement of the galaxy, is relatively new. And so Vedic chooses to not incorporate the modern tools, I think, into their tradition. And ultimately, God bless them, because there's a lot of wisdom to what they share. But ultimately, our galaxy is moving, and there's no such thing as fixed stars. There's not. And so it could be that Vedic is actually tracking this better, in that it sees where the stars are and it follows the star. So if the star is now not in Taurus, but it's in Gemini, well, then you're going to be born in Gemini, not in Taurus. You know what I'm saying? And so it could be because they're just following that fixed sense of where the star always should be and letting the zodiac go around it. Whereas Western astrology is always starting from that 0 degree point. So wherever the 0 degree point falls, if it doesn't fall the same point it fell in 100 years ago, well, we're responding to where it is today, which is why we always keep Aries at Aries, and we always keep Cancer at Cancer. And so sometimes there's like a difference between, like, are you a Cancer or are you a Gemini, depending, because is it Vedic astrology? Is it Western astrology? Vedic will have kept, I think, I don't want to say the zodiac signs fixed, but it'll have kept that constellation fixed, as opposed to allowing it to move. I don't know. I could be saying that wrong, though, and that's why I don't want to get into it. But you're right that is that's a part of it, absolutely. And I don't want to say too much more, but that's how it does differ. It starts to differ because of that one or the other making that concession for the movement of the galaxy and where the stars are actually now, as opposed to where they were 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago. And I was under the impression that Vedic actually does follow the stars, and we don't actually follow the stars. All we do is look at, okay, where is Aries now? And then we're going to base everything on that. And that's why everything stays the same for us, and why our zodiac signs stay consistent. Whereas Vedic will be like, well, Aries is still here, but the zodiac starts here. So you're not Aries anymore. You're Taurus. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of the difference in how the wheels turn based on how you look at it and what you're looking at. Our fixed point is actually always moving, because 0 degrees Aries may not be where it used to be, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. But we don't care. All we care about is it's still Aries. That's still where Aries begins. And ultimately, that kind of keeps us more consistent with the dates of the zodiac based on in comparison to our calendar, whereas they're more like, no. the constellation was here and now it's here, but the wheel is still here, type of thing. Like, so I think that's how the difference is. And yeah, that's how the difference is. So I practice Western astrology, though I think Vedic would be really interesting to learn, to be honest with you. I think it's all fascinating because you're talking about learning a tradition and a belief system that's been around for thousands of years, and Vedic is older than Western, of course. So that's looking deeper into history, and I love history. So I think that would be really fun to learn about, because you're learning about the people and you're learning about their mindset and how they viewed their world and themselves in relation to it. So that's I think that's fascinating. Yeah, let's get into the cards. Let's do it. Okay. Here I am blabbing. It's 26 minutes in already. So we have 3 of Cups coming out. Interesting. We have 4 of Swords in our face. 4 of Swords. But let's do this. I'm going to twist it up. So we have Judgment card, which is a judgment in our favor. And then the 4 of Cups, but we're still considering, we're still thinking. We still have to think about it, think how we feel, understand how we feel. We do have time to think how we feel. And then we have the 3 of Cups, which is, are we around people that we don't really like to be around? Is there an unwelcome guest, an unwelcome visitor? It's almost like you may have made a decision in the past that made you sound good, that felt good at that time, but now you're not too sure of it. And then we have a sense of, now you're thinking about it again. You're trying to think about it and make sense of it in your head. And then 7 of Wands, you will end up keeping your promise and standing by what you said you would. This is sort of integrity, and also, fighting for what you believe in. So you will continue to do, okay, so fighting for what you believe in doesn't necessarily, okay. So it's almost like, fighting for what you believe in doesn't necessarily mean keeping your promises. Fighting for what you believe in means being sincere, right? And basically sticking up for yourself. So ultimately there's a sense of, if something has shifted or something has changed, you might have to change the contract to base it on what you feel comfortable with now. And of course, it doesn't have to be a literal contract. This is 3 of Wands. So an investment you make now is in return. There's great returns that are coming to you because you invested in something in the past. This is the central energy. So ultimately a sense of knowing that you're doing the right thing today so that in the future, something good comes out of it. Interesting. And this is Justice. So Libra energy, trying to find a way to be diplomatic, trying to find a way to make it work for both sides. We have 2 Judgment cards. We have Judgment and Justice. So this could actually be a legal decision that's being made. 2 of Pentacles regarding a change in finances, something that will change the finances, or okay. The Star card. Okay, so this is great. It will definitely change the finances for the better, or it'll change your situation for the better. Like it's you're trying to juggle 2 different things. Somebody's trying to juggle 2 different things. Somebody's trying to just make things work and make the best of what they have in the situation. And the Star card is here, where there's a lot of hope here. There's a lot of good intent. I don't see any malice here. I know that there's maybe a lack of abundance, or a 3 of Cups is a sense of like just feeling like maybe you don't have enough room, or don't have enough space, don't have what you want, aren't around people you want. Let's keep reading. 2 of Pentacles, the Star card. The Ace of Cups is here. This is really cool energy. because it's almost like it's going to work itself out anyway. 9 of Wands is here. Defend yourself, protect yourself. But no, it's saying you're strong enough. You'll get through this. And ultimately, you're getting through it to a much better space. There's definitely a sense of stand your ground. Let me just meditate for a second on the whole reading. Overall, I would say this is a message to trust, to just trust the situation, trust that everything works out, trust that everything is going to be okay. Trust it because you know what? You've put in the work. You've put in the work, and goodness is coming back to you for it. This sense of the 3 of Cups being in reverse could just be that you're kind of uncomfortable with it right now because it will take a sort of adjustments to be made. This is really specific. It doesn't feel general. 9 of Wands. Yeah, so this is, things haven't worked out yet. They haven't worked out. Sweet results await. Something's grinding on you, making something that you really wanted to have fun with not so much fun. You know, that could be, hold on. Can we just get some specifics here? Like, what the hell? What is this sweet results await? Something was held up. That's what it was. Something was held up. And it's got to do with people not functioning, or like the workers not doing the work, something not functioning, because it's like a decision was made, but at the same time, it hasn't reached you yet. A decision was made, a good decision was made, but it hasn't come to pass yet. Deception and envy. That's interesting. So the clarification of sweet results await, deception and envy. I got to tell you, if you're having a bad feeling of something, believe it, because it won't work out well. Interesting. Can we get a little bit more information on this, please? Let me say this to you. It's almost a reading of the higher power, or the executives, if you're looking at it on a 3D plane. It's like the executives made a decision that said, yes, healthcare for everyone. But the directors and the senior managers have been too fucking lazy to share that information with everybody, basically just for themselves' sake, because they haven't wanted to do it, right? It means more and more work for them, so they've basically decided to stall. That's what I'm talking about. It's not that. So if you're feeling something's off and you know you should have access to something, I would say go looking for these answers yourself, because you do. In terms of the legislation, in terms of the law, in terms of the higher power, it's a big old fat fucking yes. But in terms of the busy bees that are just making the functionality of it all happen, they're not doing it. They're not functioning. They don't want to. They're deceiving you because they don't want to do the work. That's kind of what it's feeling like. It's not that it's actually not there for you. It's that the people who are supposed to distribute it to you are not. They're not. And that, yeah, that is fucked up. Absolutely. So does that mean it won't come to you? No, but it does mean that you should probably like say something. You should probably take action in terms of defending yourself. Like, yo, listen, I know this was supposed to come through. Why the fuck haven't you gotten on it? And if they tell you it's because, oh no, you're not set to get this. Yes, I am. Like, bring the paperwork to them to say, I am absolutely supposed to get this. Why haven't you put the paperwork through? And it doesn't necessarily have to do with paperwork. Take that as an analogy. You know, it's almost like I don't know. It's like, yeah, whatever you put in, whatever you were hopeful for, and you put yourself forth, it's there. It's yours. It's coming back to you, right? But there's this sense of it was held up by people's bullshit, by somebody's bullshit. And it could be like intentional manipulation. However, that intentional manipulation will not trump all these major arcana. And that's kind of what the cosmos is saying right now. Whatever bullshit and down low crap has been like low vibrationally trying to harm or stall, the higher powers are going to be like, fuck that, and break it down. We have the 17, which is people coming to your aid that you didn't even ask for. Making a home feel safe. Like help is coming. And then you're about to be at a point where you can kiss something goodbye. Say, I don't need you anymore in my life. Like, it was nice while it lasted, but now I am moving on. So I honor you and say thank you, and I release you. That's kind of what that energy is saying. And ultimately, it could be that somebody's trying to stall because they don't want to be released. They know they're about to be let go, or they know they're not valuable anymore. And so it's almost like they're stalling in order to keep themselves relevant. That's what I'm getting. But it doesn't matter because there's help on the way, and you're going to say goodbye anyway. You're going to say goodbye anyway. And in fact, it may be that somebody is pretending to be extra nice to you now because they know in some ways they're not relevant to your life anymore, but they still need something from you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's mean or they're going to do something harmful to you. It just means that they kind of understand now that they're not as relevant to you anymore. And they're trying to find a way to still get something from you because they need it. And I don't think that you're comfortable with this situation, and you shouldn't be comfortable with this situation. And if it's really making you uncomfortable, say it. Interesting, right? Oh, well, Frankie, then it sounds like you're already taking on a lot of responsibility of a lot of other people. And ultimately, if you're comfortable with that, then God bless. But don't let it go on beyond past your comfort level, because that will become a toxic situation, not just for you, but for everybody that is in your care. Okay, red flag, hewing. It's not your soulmate. that person's not your soulmate. If she has blocked you everywhere, then you have to listen to her. I don't know where you got the impression she is your soulmate, but listen to how somebody treats you. And if they're saying, bye-bye, I don't want you in my life, you're saying they've blocked you, then I don't understand why you don't hear that. That's concerning to me. Interesting. Yeah, I still would argue that you have to honor somebody's request and experience in life. And I've never experienced that. I've never experienced the word soulmate being used by somebody who blocked you. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I think that that's very unhealthy behavior. There's red flags, even if it is from a high level starseed. Congratulations to him. Sometimes we get to high levels because we're deceptive and manipulative. Did she know she was being spoken about? We were just talking about this. This is about looking at somebody's natal chart without their consent. And now you're doing a reading that's involving her energy and her past life people. Was she there? Did she give you consent to even engage her energy that way? Where was the consent? Telling her the next day isn't getting her consent. That's not consent. It's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission. And that's manipulative. Big red flag with your behavior right there. Let's get on with the reading. We have positive future. Now, this card comes out when we realize the mistakes we've made in the past are what we're living now. And so when we take control of our lives now, we're realizing we're creating the future we want to live in. Our positive future depends on our good, reasonable, honest, sincere, and heartfelt decisions now. And it's saying that we are working on making our path better. We are working on making our circumstance, our situation better. We're working on making it more positive. And then we have Goddess of Oneness, which is definitely somebody is helping you. Somebody is there, just like this little energy right there, a helper. It could be a helper from the spiritual realm, somebody that loves you, somebody that's encouraging you, somebody that's helping to orchestrate things for you, or they could be in this 3D realm. They just haven't presented themselves to you yet. There's a decision that's been made, but ultimately some administrative crap has to be moved out of the way first. And then we have bondage, someone stuck. So it could be that there's this energy of somebody stuck in a current situation, caught in current obligations, or that it is like the obligations themselves that are stopping everything else up, right? Bondage. Bondage is also not being able to see it. From a personal perspective, if you're stuck in bondage, it's because it's you're not seeing your blessings. You're not seeing how people are trying to help you and how people really are believing in you, right? You may be just so stuck in the practicalities. It could be you yourself that's stuck. You're deceiving yourself because of all this hard work. Maybe you haven't gotten the big old bank flow yet, right? Your deceit could be self-deception. You're sticking yourself in this sense of stuck by not seeing how much you're being helped and how much you're being appreciated and how awesome your future is. Now, I did say that because I was looking at the charts. There's really a lot of worry and almost ability to suffer this week, based on what we feel, based on what we are afraid of, versus based on what's actually really going on. So you could take that in a very esoteric meaning that spirit is on your side. You are not. We are probably our own worst enemy right now because of what we're reacting to, or reacting like to only what we see in front of us versus all that is really there coming to us. Right? And not seeing it right here, right now, in order, in my hands, is keeping it away from us. Because we won't believe in it until it's here, but it will never get here until we believe in it. And we could be, esoterically speaking, we're not seeing that. And that could be us blocking our own abundance just because it's like, no, I want to see it. And that's that low, not high vibrational, that's that low vibrational Virgo energy that we're in right now because of the moon. Not necessarily low vibrational, but we have that Virgo energy, and low vibrational Virgo energy says, I'll see it I'll believe it when I see it, put it in my hands. And the truth is, you will never manifest beyond day-to-day routine working for somebody else. And that is all you will ever live in if you have that vibration about you. You have to believe it already, because once you believe it, it comes to you. It's not vice versa. And I think that that's kind of the more esoteric meaning of this story that's unfolding in front of us. No. These are okay. I am beautiful. So this is a helper card. Like, this is a card that's saying this is what we have to work on. How we feel about ourselves, how deserving we feel. This is a key element right now in working on how we treat ourselves, how we care for ourselves, how we care about ourselves, and seeing beauty in ourselves, seeing how we really do know and are certain that we deserve the absolute best, that we see the beauty in us. And if we can be compassionate with ourselves, the universe is compassionate with us. If we can see how worthy we are, the universe will agree. See it there. It's there already. See it, believe it before you have to see it. And that belief itself will bring it to you. But the tool here is learning to love who you are, learning to see great beauty in who you are. Happy birthday, Dagdeni. Learning to know your beauty, to really, really know it. Unfinished symphony, that's in reverse. It's saying this is finished. This is coming to completion, right? And that's coming maybe toward the end of the day. Mending right now is something's being fixed today based on this subject matter. Something is being fixed as we speak so that things will become completed. And things will become officialized, and things will be in harmony again. That's what it's saying. So today is a very beautiful day where the powers that be are really helping to change the tide around. So it's really not about the outcome today. It's really about the belief. The belief. 100% it's about the belief. This is a daily. It's a daily tarot reading. So the energies are happening in this 24-hour period. We have watermelon tourmaline, stress reduction, de-stress your mind, body, and schedule. As you need rest, you need to rest, recharge, and revive. This is very important part of loving yourself and giving yourself the time to take care of who you are and invest in who you are. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Gold. Divine intervention. God sends miracles to answer sincere prayers. I love you, God. I really do. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. We're going to read them all. They all came out. We're going to read them all. You ready? Archangel Michael. The path is now clear. I have removed all obstacles in your way. You can move forward now with ease and confidence. You will achieve what your heart desires. I love you, God. Determination, perseverance, and patience will lead to a positive outcome. Damn! Middle path. Embrace both sides. The middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life. There's not just two ways of doing things. You have to look beyond and be innovative. This is all about innovation now. And that's where you lead to a happy space. It's not just one side or the other. Innovation, innovation, innovation. There's always more than two choices. Harmony, which we just discussed here. This is in reverse, so it's not unfinished. It's harmonized now. There's harmony coming. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. So step back right now and be like, God, thank you. I know you're helping me out. I know you're clearing the path. I know I have this. I know it. I feel it. I am it. You deserve it. Yes. And just guide me along the way. That's it. Just legitimately step out of God's way. And then we have truth. The best way through the current situation is just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. The unknown. Do not fear the unknown. This is a time of deep exploration and transformation. Unfamiliar territory leads to new horizons. Mindfulness. Be mindful of another's feelings and needs. Someone needs your love right now. A loving thought is all it takes. Imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. Archangel Sandalphon, I have heard your call for help. Your prayer will soon be answered. Guys, you're about to get your miracle. You're about to get your miracle. I love you very, very much. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I will be on here tomorrow, and I'll have so much to share. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, Stacy, God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you for channeling the oh, God bless you, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy Samuel. God bless you. I appreciate your donation. Thank you so much. So thank you, Stacy, and thank you everybody for joining me. And I will see you guys tomorrow, unless I see you in the videos, because I'll be releasing Gemini, Taurus, and Aries tomorrow. I'll see you guys there. Bye.